and welcome to another exciting edition of We Shot First. Ladies and gentlemen, I have got to say, hats off to Mr. Aiden Willems. I tease the fuck out of this guy when we play, and we've heard our history together, but now I've got him alone because the cast isn't here. It's just a little bit of a one-shot for him and me. Hats off to a guy. When you say, who wants to play the Jedi? And everybody goes, me! And I say, you get to play the Jedi, but because of the campaign, you cannot redeem dark side points, so you gotta be very careful. And was the no lightsaber idea yours, mine, ours? Like,
dude, it's been what, 6+ years at this point? I don't remember.
Oh, you think we'd have more seasons done? Oops.
Hey, we've been enjoying ourselves, and that's what matters. It might have been your idea to begin with, or you might have been like, hey, don't draw the lightsaber early, and so I was like, okay, well, I fixed it into the axe,
right?
And then
Yeah.
Progressing from there, because I was just paranoid as all hell, and you made me paranoid as all hell.
I remember you. I was like, okay, well, he's got to have a crystal. So I'm like, okay, you don't have your crystal, you have your master's crystal, and then we had to come up with the backstory of like, why don't you have your own lightsaber? Because Padawans do. Then we came up with the whole, you broke your lightsaber during Order 66. He throws you his. He uses powers to fend them off. You run. That's not enough, and you're left with the ute that leads to. Leads to all
the dark side stuff.
Yeah. Well, I just added one on the end, digging into the guilt. And you get a Master's Crystal, and then I'm like, well, if you're going to carry it, and not use it for good things, it's like maybe it's soaking up this bad vibe. So then I came up with this idea of like the crystal becoming tainted, and then it's like it's
about until you kind of got around to that point where you're like, yeah, maybe the crystal kind of is tainted because you've been holding on to it so long and feeding it. It's like, oh my god, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, and it's not like the DM is goading you into using dark side points or force points. The crystal that you carry is like whispering in your, it's in your head, right? But if a DM alludes to that, like, I think I've put it forth, like, you get this feeling that you should, and you're just like, oh, that's the collective dark side because I'm force sensitive. But I dug in, okay? So yeah, all you fans and listeners and players out there going, gee, Jeff's a dick. Why is he always picking on? Come on, like, this is a big reveal, I'm just worried, like, no one's ever going to figure this out. We're having our oh, good for you, oh no, you, and it's like, maybe we should have, like, just think we have a chat about this going. So, if you haven't figured it out, the crystal that he purified, but now you're looking for your very own.
Yep.
And we're doing the Homecoming series, so I'll kill that dark side music. What dark side music? Kill the dark side music. We left off with a surprise encounter with Slate and his Robodog's out there, and you gathered all your stuff. You jump back in the pool in the little sanctuary. You're swimming down, unaware that the pool's under surveillance, so no meta. But going through the swim, give me some swim checks, if you please.
Yep, absolutely. 11 for the first one.
A skill challenge, and I swim,
24 for the second. 19.
Okay. Luckily the first one you're like near the surface, and they get harder as you start navigating like an underwater cavern, but 24 and 19 is decent. You swim, you pull, you fling your way. Have you ever jumped into a lake like wearing jeans, let alone full clothes? I have. Yes. And it's like, it's freaking hard to swim with pants on, man. Like, it's, so these characters are like, what? I have all my gear, I just swim. It's like, no, I want to see some swim checks. This has nothing to do with my obsession with climbing checks for Messina. Now I'm just projecting swim checks onto you now. But you do, congratulations, you get there. And we're back, back in the Crystal Caves. Wooty woot. Crystal Caves. Where are they? I don't think I've got you up here. Are you here? Oh, there you are. There you go.
I'm here.
There he is.
I proceed back across the bridge.
Okay.
Hit that T intersection where the master was doing the woo
Oh, you like that, eh? It's a wave. Come back and tell me something I don't know. I tried so many different voices and accents, and I sometimes have people saying, it's not necessary. You could just say what the NPC does. I do. There's a lot of NPCs you guys meet that are just like, he says this, he does this, type of thing. But I love
the voices genuinely. I have another game where no one else except for the GM does any sort of voice for their character, and they look at me like I'm the crazy one. I'm like, guys, it's fun to do voices. It's fun to give these people personalities and character, breathe life into them with their own voices. It's wonderful to be all. Well, the very kind of reserved poser.
Should we spoil something about Dungeon and Sons? Like, is your flesh warp guy actually a really messed up footfall who came out the other side?
Oh gosh, I hadn't even thought about that. Maybe
I was the guy, right? Like, your voice could change, everything could change. Anyway, what are we talking about? Well, you gotta check out our other shows, Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So the scene comes down into cavernous tunnels, and the walls are very, very porous, rocky, edgy, almost like coral. And he comes to this wall where an entire section looks like it's been sheared. And when you say shear, you always think of like a cut straight across. It's flat. I mean, like ripped off like a scab, and it's pocky, it's gaps. There's, and yet through it is this sedimentation, flattened, compressed lines or gradations. I'm trying to think of the right words here. It looks like marble. And he's talking about what you sense, what you saw. It reacted to what you see. It reacted to light, and then when you use the force on it, you sense the dark side. You sense cold.
But I also sensed something past it.
You did, and there's also, you reached out with your force and your mind, and you sensed massive structures of caverns beyond, not only tunnels that you could like whip around and try and find your way now, but an entire complex. As if like what we're looking at now is really only like an eighth of the size of this place. And in the midst of all seemed to be crystals that were resonating with each other. And you're sensing it. And there did seem to be some sort of mother lode of pure crystal cluster. What's a crystal cluster? I don't know if you've ever seen like a crystal cluster, but it looks like the top of a birthday cake, and you jam all the candles on angles right in the dead center like a bullseye. Like it's sticking up like fingers that are held together, but they're spiky crystal, like, and the bottom is round. Like that's what a crystal crystal looks like.
Yeah, I think in KOTOR they had them. Yeah.
Beyond all this,
enough games with crystals.
Beyond all this darkness, surprising that you can sense this neutral or like crystal. Now, the teachings of the Force from your original master was your basic canon stuff. Is the dark side stronger, faster, more aggressive, but not stronger? You dig in, you find what matters to you, someone to protect, virtue within, doing the right thing for its sake. Because if there isn't good people with powers standing not just against the darkness, but willing to help people because you are more powerful, because you should use these, to good vibes in the universe. And there's a monasteric freaking laser sword cutting through anything order called the Jedi that you were snatched up, abducted, really. I don't know if parents ever get paid or have a say in this, but yoink, congratulations, your kid is ours. Yeah, there's a lot of jokes about that. A young, tender Syrian removed from this very homeworld. Now, Dina mentioned a master you should seek out. And yet, if the Jedi Order is completely open to all race, sex, diversity, except for droids, sorry, they can't enter, and crystals, kyber crystals at least, appear on so many worlds, why your homeworld? Is this a test? Do you feel that she's trying to reconnect you to your past. Like, you're really not supposed to have attachments as a Jedi. Why put you through this nostalgia? Oh no, wait, you were yoinked when you were 5. Is anything really familiar here? Do you feel a connection? Does your own homeworld feel alien to you? Dina's really a messed up chick. Like, what is she playing at, dude? Like, like, it was all this rolling around in your head, in one brain or the other.
Yeah, and part of part of it is it feels alien but familiar, because it's one of those, like, part of me is so in tune with nature and natural things and sound, which is just air vibrations, which is a very natural thing, a natural phenomenon,
which of course led you to death metal. And what? You're just living in denial.
But and so it's one of those kind of being out here in the pure wilderness. I've never experienced this before. Like you said, when I was a youngling and a Padawan with my master, we were always in like urban cities and whatnot. I always felt comfortable there and at home there, but this just feels oddly resonating with me, the peaceful calm of nature. But it also does make me feel somewhat uncomfortable because I miss the cityscapes, the space.
The sanctuary is a bit of a compromise. I mean, like, we were making those jokes where, like, you pull up the RV, we're here at the park, oh, look, this is nature's a tree, yeah, we're going to stop for 5 minutes, Padawan, right? You drove off the side of a tower, 100% metal structure, into a deep, verdant forest. Drove for miles, like real Endor-looking stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But then you actually found this village, a bit of a sanctuary, where there is some cultivation. There are huts and winding paths, but they try to blend at least a little bit, or at least it's landscape to look nice, to have the presence of nature there, even if they've crudely shaped it or whatever. And it is still amidst, now being force sensitive, like, there's getting back to nature. I live in the Kawartha Lakes, and they call this entire region, which encompasses several small towns and cities, because there is a lot of lakes and water here, rivers that flow through, so many highways that come right up to a river or lake, and you get a peek at it for a moment and then keep driving. So much cottage country up here. I actually grew up on a river, and now I'm actually in the heart of a city. So going back to something like that really resonated with me. So when you told me that Syrian is this, like, nature planet, and they don't even let outsiders, like, buy land or whatever, they stick them in these towers, I was like, oh yeah, we got to do something that resonates with nature. Being force sensitive, you can feel the tree, the rock, the M word that we're not going to say, right? So it must be overwhelming. And now you're feeling minerals that practically resonate with sonic vibrations. And here you are trying to figure out, the master just wanted you to learn something from the wall. But now, secret agenda, there's crystals in there. What would you do? Oh yeah, and there's bounty hunters chasing your new friend. What can you
do? Well, you seem to be handling it just fine. I mean, guy rode a speeder bike better than I could, and that's saying something.
I have a feeling that some cast member, you or me, is going to go, you know what? He's fine. We'll go. I have a feeling that's going to somehow come up somewhere.
Yeah. But no, I mean, actually feeling this resonance and whatnot, and coming back to it. I have my guitar in hand now. Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to come back to the wall, and I'm actually going to start just strumming something simple, and then, kind of pick it up a little bit, but just, sit here and meditate for a minute or two while playing, and just kind of see what I can feel and see what might be the best action to take.
All right. Now, full meditation does take your, you got to reach out with your mind. So did you want to go like full on, or are you just sort of trying to use the music as a meditation tool? I mean, it's really not classic to Jedi, but I mean, If it works for you, it's
neither was the master, and neither was how I was raised.
That's true.
It wasn't, because I was very, used to be very, very structured and very like, we have to follow the rules. And he's like, nah, man.
Well, how about this? There is music in nature. Birds sing, and apparently crystals resonate. So if you're trying to tap into the living force, why not? Why not project something that gets you in the mood, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So performance with the musician side of you, use the force to roll those eyes back up in the head. Get out your little temple cushion. Let's have at it.
Alrighty. So there's a 22 for performance.
Okay.
Because performance is based off persuasion, and one of the talents I have allows me to use the force for persuasion. And then the second one is for actually meditating. So 29 for that one.
Okay. I'd like to turn this into a bit of a skill challenge. Give me 3 with the perform. So you begin performing, and then you open yourself up to the force really wide with 29. And as you continue to perform, see where it takes you.
36.
Okay. And one more.
Oh, yes. 35.
Okay. Setting your own bar, opening yourself to the force with a strong will at 29. Performing at 22, not so much, but upping the game, as it were, upping the music or deepening the bravado. I mean, like, symphony music is epic. It's not necessarily fast all the time. Getting into the thing, use the force to perform 36 and 35, knocking it out of the park with the music. You perform. Now, where are we going with? Is this chords? Is this fingering? Is this a harmony? Is this a melody? Like, what's the base of your music here?
So this is actually going to be somewhat of oh gosh, I'm trying to think the specific type, but I want to say it's like a nocturne-esque, kind of like
what's that? I know music and I've what?
It's kind of like a kind of more of a sad, somber-esque. More flowing-esque, and I'll actually start
like a dirge,
a little bit. Not quite as dark as a dirge, but
okay. What did you call it?
A nocturne. I believe that's the correct term, but maybe not.
Oh, that sounds really dope to me. You can hear us clicking away because we're looking this stuff. It's like, what is a nocturne? Nocturne music. All right.
Short composition of romantic or dreamy characters suggestive of night, typically for piano. Okay, maybe that wasn't exactly what I was thinking of, but
but they've got Chopin, right? Good old. We got Chopin, then we can use that. Like, yeah, that sounds pretty dope.
Dreamy pensive composition for the piano specifically, but
okay,
I feel like it would be modified for.
All right, well, let's check this out. We're gonna play something here. I'm trusting that this is.
Yeah.
Oh, this sounds like some Dr. Zhivago stuff. All right. Okay, so imagining this on a guitar, right?
Yeah.
That's a good thing about how verse. Yeah, like here's a guitar lesson that it's gonna do it.
There's more to life than you.
Oh, can't run Obi-Wan commercials. That's not good. Damn it. I just wanted some, like some down, like get people a chance. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's good. I'm gonna let this play while you're telling me. Okay, so... yeah. Knocking this out here. Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. This music... No, even, like, you can't hear it, but the audience can hear it, whatever. If you listen carefully, it has a sway to it. And you remember how he was saying there's like a wave?
Yeah.
Like this has sort of like a rock back and forth, almost like you're like searching. So, can I have one more use the Force? Actually, two more. We'll make this a skill challenge.
Okay.
A gentle skill challenge.
Only 22 on that one.
22.
And 22 again.
Okay. You're right on par with the music. And you're trying to use it to meditate, but it's not quite getting you there. You feel it like your meditation is just sort of like you're connecting to the Force, but you know what I mean? Like you just, if the music is wrong or you just can't focus or whatever, but you're not getting that sort of home, high, and free Force vision for me, that kind of thing. It's like,
That's fair. Well, if it's not working, I'll try switching it up one more time. If that doesn't work, then I'll leave the music be and just see if I can, kind of just lean into the wave motion itself, just with body movements.
I will tell you this, knocking out over 20, you feel that your gut is telling you like some music, because there's a sonic resonation with the crystals beyond this wall, that you're on the right track. Maybe you're just not lining up your ducks,
Yeah, it's just slightly off tempo of what I should be. So, I'll pick something again, slightly different tempo, alter it maybe about the. Oh gosh, it's actually been a little while since I've done actual music stuff. Was it like the 20 something? Go from beats per minute. So maybe go up like 10 beats per minute or down 10 beats per minute to try and line up. Again, not altering too much, but just, new song, new genre. And I will retry.
Okay.
All right. 33. Use the Force. 32, use the Force. Do you want one more?
Yeah. No, you're getting somewhere with this.
36, use the Force.
Very simplified. Maybe you're overdoing it. Like I said, a different tempo, a slightly different approach. Not far off of what you were doing. A steadier 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, as opposed to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 that he was going before, right? Yeah. You're gonna speed it up and try it, but also you dig in. It's like, no, what if I went slower? There's something patient and eternal about a rock.
Yeah.
Anyway, as you begin to play, you start feeling as the sound waves hit the rock, they bounce back at you, and acoustics, like an amphitheater.
Yeah.
It's rounded and projects. This is actually absorbing, like the way you use sound detonating in a studio or whatever, rippled foam on a wall softens the sound so you get less echo. So when you're playing this, because of the way how the rock face is all pocky, you're actually getting very little, if any, echo. It's almost as if the rock is absorbing it or breaking it up so it doesn't echo everywhere.
Right.
Okay. With these awesome use the force rolls, you feel that if you push this line of thinking, you might be able to actually penetrate the rock, at least with sound, like an ultrasound vibrating through a rock. Physically, you might not be able to get through, but you might be able to get sound through. Connect with, just like you did with the Force. You can sense the resonating crystals through the Force, but to actually make a sound that can get to them.
Okay. So then, I guess I will perhaps get a little bit closer and then really just kind of slam down a power cord and see if I can almost, not necessarily brute force it, but again, give it a little bit more energy to it.
That gets a negative reaction. Like you get shut down, like you have to go from scratch. Almost the opposite.
Okay. So
maybe
then I'll attempt
finesse.
Yeah, something softer then.
All right. A little softer. A little slower. Way in the middle. You slowed down before. You slow down another third. Yeah. What do you got going on here?
It's 21 and then a 35.
One more. I'm looking for 2 successes before 2. Okay.
19.
Okay.
Ooh, 24.
Okay. 2 failures. More failure. Okay, you're getting somewhere. Okay. Finesse over power is working, but the finesse is soft. It's not penetrating enough. It's not going, it's fading out. So like instead of just forcing it where you get like a rebuke almost, too loud, too fast, too hard is not working. You go so soft, and it's not getting in there. What do you want to do now?
Oh, it's tough.
Take it up a notch? Or do something out of the box? Like I had you go heavy, down, 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 and then you went and it's like, okay, maybe somewhere.
Yeah. Keep the tempo the same. Not amp it, not amp the sound up to 11, but not at like the 3 I've was kind of getting some work with, maybe bring it up to a 5 or a 6. So keep it slow but more.
Yeah. I'm thinking a little Turkish march, It's catchy, but it's low. There's a subtlety how it's almost coming under the table, under the radar.
Yeah.
And it builds.
Yeah.
Okay. So what'd you get? Natural 1 with an 18?
Natural over an 18.
Okay, it's fine. If you get 36, as long as you don't get 2 failures, okay? Almost lose it there. Come again. 29. Yeah, one more. It's going to go either way now. If you fail this, you're going to get shut down. If you get it, throw one more, you might be getting in. You're penetrating.
28.
Yes. Try to keep you over 25, by the way.
Gotcha.
And I'm not even going to milk it by going, do you want a first point? So I have to do this on your own. Yes. What sounds like a Star Wars version of the Turkish March for the win. 4 stars out of 5 for a guitar lesson, by the way. Okay. Part of the scales in the chord, part of the song sounds like scales right in the middle of the song. And when you hit those scales, you see the rock starts to shift. You sense the notes start rearranging. The pattern changes from like what random specks or what might be notes that don't really look like music into actual notes. Anyway, what you see form in front of you isn't your song, but an accompaniment. Like if somebody was playing what you see on top of what you're playing, it would work together.
Okay.
And then you feel the dark side pushing, reaching, opening up and coming out of the wall. A wave of cold settles over you quietly like snowfall, subtly, slower and quieter than your music, but it starts seeping out of the wall and it is growing stronger and it is looking like an invitation.
Well,
the dark side literally awakens as opposed to sensing it. It senses you. And it calls. You want in? You have to go through me. Embrace this feeling. You feel passion in your music. You feel love for your music. It's something that's kept you going. It's something you're very proud of. And it's something has protected you, kept you from falling apart and becoming weak. These feelings stir up inside you with your music. The wall senses this, and whatever source of dark side is here in this place, the crystals, the wall, the dead master splattered on the wall, who knows, senses you and can relate to one such as you and reaches out. What do you do?
Well, I will fall back to some of my training.
Okay.
But
you wish to resist. I will tell you, if you just give yourself over, you feel like you could literally walk through that wall. There are powers in the core book and other books that you have yet to realize. There are traditions. There are alternate force traditions. This feeling, this source of power makes you feel embridled. Not that you can do anything, but you could do something miraculous, like walk right through that solid wall. All you need to do is embrace this power that's offering to show you, to teach you, to guide you to this method through music.
I prefer to forge my own path.
Okay. What training are we falling back on?
Well, part of it's just very strong mental fortitude, because, well, a lot of the stuff the master taught me was diplomacy and whatnot. He also has taken me to one or two places that are stronger in the dark side of the force, and he hasn't, just kind of dropped me in with, some dark side creature or, some heavy dark side user.
Yeah, he doesn't push you off the dock and go swim. He's like, this is a lake. It's very deep. It's very dangerous. We're going to stick a toe in, and how does that feel? Feels cold? Yes, well, it's winter. Now cut a hole through the ice, and I get it. Like, it just...
Yeah, sit in it,
okay.
Understand it, but don't give into it, because it's, it's not actually going to help.
Okay.
It's...
You do remember... actually, have an intelligence check. Let's see how good your memory is. And yeah, you can double down with your special 2 brains. That re-roll power.
Oh, I can't do that with intelligence checks.
Oh, okay.
That's initiative checks.
Oh, quickly to forget. What? No, okay.
But intelligence check of 19.
All right. You have a vague memory. Can't quite remember what your master... Like, the impression of what you were going for is there. But the actual, cutscene flashback eludes you for now. Okay. So do you want to actually use a power to like rebuke this, or like, because your connection to your force taps you into the force. There are several, not just saying light and dark, there are several sides of the force, and the strongest one in this location is resonating, seems to become aware, and wishes to guide you, wants you to embrace it. It's fueling your passion. Anyway, as long as you keep using the force, you are aware of this feeling, you are aware of this power offering, that type of thing. You try to fortify your mind, so basically it's, you're wondering if this thing is going to make a willpower attack against you, see if it can get through, succumb. No, it doesn't attack you. You wall up in your id self or whatever, and it's not trying to break through. It just keeps seeping out. It's there. It's through here. And with this power, it's an offer. With this power, you can get what you want. The knowledge you want, what's on the other side that you want, It's it's a feeling. Like, there's not someone standing there going, "Come on through," but you literally get this feeling that the living force, certainly the dark side of it, has become aware of your presence because you've woken it up or interacted with it. Maybe it feels you're worthy now. Maybe it's just suckering you in like a Venus flytrap, but whatever it is, you do have this distinct impression of the, embrace this feeling, let it guide you into that side of the force, and literally phase through this wall.
The worst thing is I've actually looked at this power and I've wanted to take it. But I know. The worst thing is, again, you're tempting me really badly here.
How bad you want those crystals?
Yeah. But no, so I will actually, it's, realizing it's not going to just try and overwhelm me, but more tempt me and, help fuel my emotions.
Okay.
I'll lean back more into my Sarian side and just try and wash those emotions away.
Do the logical. Okay.
Yeah.
So you disconnect?
Well, I don't know if I'd say disconnect per se.
I mean, you disconnect this way, like okay, there's a dude following you in an alley. You can hear the footsteps. You don't see them, you hear the footsteps. They're coming. It's echoing up and down all these alleys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you disconnect. It's like plugging your ears. Maybe he won't find me. Maybe you'll sneak right up on me. Like, right?
Right. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to disconnect, but I would want to follow something that is logical. So I would actually, realizing that part of the song that I was playing that was working was scales, I will go back to just my basics and run through mathematical scales through my guitar.
All right.
And, not trying to play what I feel, but what I think.
All right.
Yeah. Logical pattern here. And
do, re, mi, la, ti, si, do. Yeah, okay, I got you. Like a numerical progression of notes.
Yes. And following specific patterns.
Yeah. Like just banging out chords in order of progress, because music flows back and forth, up and down. If you literally just go from, let's say a keyboard is easier to picture than a guitar, chords working your way up left to right, and they're going up and up and up in a pitch, but it's just like, okay, G, A, F, E, G, A, and because that's the progression of them, and you just go higher and higher. Like, it's very bland, very simplistic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it gives structure, it gives pattern.
Oh yeah.
And it takes away the feelings from the music itself, but still gives the essence of music.
Projecting sonic without getting emotional or finding something into. Okay, I gotcha. That's cool. All right.
And hopefully, part of this testing is just trying to let this feeling and this presence just flow past me and just dissipate.
Yeah. Cutting the wave with discord, as it were. All right. Yeah. Use force.
32.
Okay. Yes. The feeling you get, it's not like you're cutting through it like a wave. It clashes. The music, the sonic, the feeling, the passion or whatever is not drowned out, but almost pushed back into the wall with this discord. Almost like you're shutting it down, confusing it, or I can't hear you because here's my white noise. La la la. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, at any time, if you want to make something more prevalent, even fortifying yourself or fortifying what you're doing, any action that uses the force, not all of them can burn force points, as they say numerically, add a force point, add 2d6 damage. But for flavor or for results, if you want to, if you think something's working, you want to juice it, burn a force point. If it's crazy, destiny, right? Now, what you're doing is working, but it's more like a cancellation. Here's my version of white noise, and now I can't be tempted. But you're not getting results. You're not getting through the wall. You're not getting through the crystal. You're not stopping it. But you're halting its progression on your senses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so with that, I will actually lean a little bit heavy into the force, and something I've been using since not day one, but day one of adventuring with the friends, is I will actually start activating Inspire. Which is a light side force power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it doesn't directly impact me because it only targets allies within 6 squares and within line of sight.
Yeah, but you want to start giving off a distinct light side vibe. I like it. You're using a power, but the end game is like, how do I radiate light side? No, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That's very cool. Okay. So you switch it up.
Yep.
Play one of your rockin' tunes. Get a natural one. Now, you don't know if it's your idea that's bad or, the way you go about it, but you have a very negative result. Okay, not only does it sort of recoil, it recedes like a wave and then literally comes crashing at you and attacks your psyche. What is your willpower?
Willpower is currently 22.
Ooh, I just matched it. It gets in. It shows you the cave. Suddenly, you feel the force pushes on your mind. You have a vision. It shows you, which I will show you now, shows you the cave. It shows you the prize. It's, where are you? We're just going to move you over here. You are not here physically.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But it's going to show you, you do the sweeping arc.
Yeah.
Like the mind's eye whoosh. It gets inside your head and then gives you the tunnel vision where you whoosh around and it shows you, like the late. Now, first you had sensed it, right?
Right.
But to actually suddenly sweep through this cave structure and to have it show you. Okay.
Right.
Standing in the middle of a mind's eye, but it gives you that sort of bird's eye view.
Yeah.
Okay. You see a woman in here. You see she stands before the cluster in the deepest part of the cave. You see this cluster is surrounded on all sides by, or in the corner of a massive amount of crystals, all resonating, all vibrating. She seems very intent on what looks to be a cluster in a back corner, but something's off. Something, like she didn't get it because it's here. She didn't get to it. It's almost like the vision is showing you a failure. Like, you sense that this vision is like the last person who tried the shit you did, this is what happened to them. She got in. She convinced herself this is the right cluster. She used the Force. She reaches out. You feel a powerful, raw Force user. Certain of herself, but serene. Powerful with the Force, but still one person is connecting to the Force, which is an external force. And this place is an external area. She reaches out and tries to take, shear, use the Force to dislodge, disrupt, reach the frequency of this cluster. And it resounds back at her and melts her from the inside out. Not only does it show you her failure, it shows you that the light side that drew her failed her. Because what you really want, the real power of this place, is hiding in an antechamber, literally 180 the southwestern corner, not the northeastern corner. Now, what you had sensed before, that's what she went for. The lone, good old cluster that's standing amongst this, all this neutrality and dark type of thing. It shows you a cluster that's hiding, a source of crystal that not only might just be that indigenous type of crystal that you know is on Sirian, but this cluster is infused with the Force. It's not a Force-sensitive crystal. The Force has been pumped into it, filled it, and contained within this cluster over years. This cluster is powerful, would make the purest of lightsaber blades. Strong. It's a resonating, deep neon purple. Why? It's your favorite color. If you were to take a piece of this cluster and make a lightsaber with it, the power that you could harness through it, the powers it could amplify in you. Imagine a lightsaber that doesn't cut into things. It phases into things and becomes just solid enough to actually disperse its energy while never ever touching the surface. You know the old vibrating trick of the Flash, and he vibrates his hand and then he reaches into somebody's chest. This makes it just solid enough to grab or stop their heart. Meanwhile, no damage to the arm. Imagine a lightsaber blade of light projected from this crystal that could do that. Now, lightsabers normally shear so great, they damage reduction.
Right.
This is the promise of a crystal that could basically insert itself through anything. Shield, ion, any material, living, dead, mineral. So much power is in these crystals. It would simply project almost subspace, almost light space into something, become just solid enough to release its energy, do its lightsaber damage. You know what I mean? It would almost be like a soul sword. You could cut through someone and they would feel the effects of the cut, but you would not cut their body.
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay. We're not talking about like, oh, and it cauterized the wound and we take a limb. Right? We're talking about passing this through a guy's arm and his arm falls numb. Can't use it. The energy is severed nerves and caught, but has not severed the limb. Sticking this guy into a Qui-Gon Jinn and not pulling it out and leaving a nice burn hole, just passing this blade through a guy's heart and stopping it. This is Mace Windu Electrum original crystal next level shit.
Right.
Take your light side and get the fuck out of here. Or accept the dark side point. Accept this power to phase through this wall. And if you're worthy, figure out a way to resonate and claim your prize. What do you do?
Well, I'll stop strumming.
Pee a little bit. Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, that was a natural one. Yeah.
Ooh. Damn.
But
now,
what I'm looking for then. So I'll sheath the axe, turn around, and walk away.
wait, don't go. You're talking about a power that I might have remembered that you wanted. A power that you could actually harness into a lightsaber beam is a mere X amount of meters. No one can get in here, and yet there is a way through music that you could learn of a way to get in here. And somebody has gotten in here and screwed it up. And the dark side is nice enough to show you the right way to go about it. You just turn and walk away.
It's not a cost worth paying.
Just one little dark side point. Just one.
It's not worth paying.
Didn't we say that you said, oh, you don't want any dark side points because you can't do light side powers, but actually you learned that it just gives you a bit of a negative? What is the negative for having a dark side point and trying to cast something like Vitality?
So what it does is it prevents you from using force points to increase your check. So for example, if I got like a 29 on the use of force check with a light side power, you know, I might use a force point to juice that to a 30 or possibly up to a 35.
Okay.
If I had a dark side point, I couldn't do that.
Okay.
But it's not just the mechanical cost. It's the cost. It's the toll on the person, on the body, on the mind.
Oh, don't get all soulful on me now, Mr. Logical. Mr. Strum those stupid chords in my face. I'm appealing to your logic brain, which means I have to appeal to the player and the dice mechanics. Imagine a phase power. No DR. The dark side now tries to appeal to your logical brain, Mr. Two Brains. Well, hey, you pull that shit on me. Are we sure?
We're positive. I mean,
okay.
That's part of the reason why I've gone through this training and why my master and his infinite wisdom taught me more than just logic. It is important to understand emotions and to recognize them, not necessarily feed into them and give them strength or use them for strength, but to understand them. And that is okay to feel them.
What is your willpower? 22?
Yes. If I'm fighting defensively, that can get boost up to 24.
Okay. You're
but if
not
I'm
interested in what walk away
and it's trying to pull me back, then
you have a sense of urgency hits you from behind. Don't leave. This is also a scientific discovery. You feel Leth. Okay, what if you didn't use this as a lightsaber crystal? What if you just got in there or told the party, told your friends, okay, walk away. Good for you. Congratulations, you win. You've resisted our temptations. But surely someone that's not force sensitive might be safe. Surely this is some sort of scientific discovery that should be shared. Should it not?
No, it shouldn't. Things like this are meant to be buried, left to be forgotten. Because without remembrance, it has no power. If you take the power away from the dark side, it has no hold over anyone.
The dark side is power. There is no light side without dark. A light is a beacon in the dark. A darkness that surrounds and encompasses light. It is stronger. It is better. It is far wider spread. But kudos to you for resisting it. But to pass up such scientific opportunity, surely Dr. Leth would want And as a matter of fact, your comm comes on. And you're through rock. Like, we're talking about a really crappy signal. You do not know how a signal is getting outside of this cave. It is sparse, it is crackly, it is faint as shit. But that is Dr. Leth on the other side, picking up his comm, going, what is it now?
Apologies, I didn't mean to call you. Don't know what happened. Don't worry
better be
about
important.
It's not. Like I said, my apologies.
Here, let me boost the signal. Aren't you supposed to be on Syrian? I suppose I could use it. Anyway, he starts muttering something. Crackle, crackle, relay, crackle, 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 crackle. Prepared myself for this. Crackle, crackle, have technology in case I ever lost one of you morons. There. Anyway, still statically as shit, but at least he's not breaking up. You can actually hear full sentences. There. Now, again, what is it you wanted?
I didn't mean to call you. It was an accident.
Are you sure there's nothing you wanted to tell me?
I'm positive, Doctor.
You're on some sort of fact-finding mission, searching for a person, I believe Master Dean has said, on your homeworld. Do you need assistance?
No, I believe I've found him, and I believe I found what he was supposed to teach me.
Knowing you, poser, you've gotten yourself in no end of trouble. Perhaps I should track your position.
I'm fine, Doc.
Bring the ship.
Trust me. Alright. I will be back shortly. I should be back within a week, if not sooner.
Okay. Anyway, you're all up in your head with your call with him. You're walking away, you're walking away, you're walking away. He says, fine, he ends the call. But you didn't walk away. You swear you got as far as the bridge. But here you are, standing right in front of that wall. As soon as I find it.
Out to the left more, I think.
We take the long way around? We're taking the long way around.
Up here. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It's really bad when you have to ping it, and I see a ping in darkness going, is this the map okay, here we go. There he is, all right.
There we go.
Lovely, lovely. Walking away leads you right back to this wall. Now, you walked away this way, like straight away, okay? You find yourself, you thought you were walking up on the bridge, and you find yourself sort of like walking from the west to the east, and the wall is on your right, and the way you left is on your left. But you find yourself in front of the wall.
Oh, you aren't making this easy. Although I guess I should have expected as such. I should have expected it to be this difficult. The master did warn me. I'm actually going to cut myself off from the Force.
Squeeze me? You're gonna become a normie? I give up the Jedi class.
No, I'm just gonna disconnect, and...
Oh, okay. Alright.
Just kind of... I've been reached out, I've been...
Okay, okay.
The space
what's your willpower, 22?
Yes.
You disconnect? Hi there.
All right.
Again, it doesn't repeat. It doesn't show you the vision again. It doesn't give you any inclination. You just get like a voicemail. Like your comm is just blinking like, pick up, someone has left you voicemail. Yeah. Merrick's calling you. So-and-so's calling you. Like, it doesn't go off again, but it's like, hey.
Yeah. So I am going to take a more resolute stance. Shift my feet a bit. Really kind of ground myself for a second. Quote unquote, fighting defensively.
Okay. Brace yourself.
And again, try and, disconnect myself.
Okay.
I'm going to spend, and I'm going to juice it with a force point.
Okay.
Again, really just trying to block myself off.
I'm not going to make you use the force to shut off the force, but
yeah.
Force points have a lot of uses, especially for non-force characters like Luck or whatever. So you burn a force point to put your foot down.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a defensive stance, burn out that force point, and
slowly start walking out of here with definitive steps.
Okay.
Towards the bridge. So my will defense is now 24.
Okay. Round and round and round we go. This time you come this way. The wall's on the left, and the exit's on the right. What the hell?
All right. Draw the axe. Start playing.
Playing what?
I'm popping Inspire again. Leaning back into the heavy metal.
Okay. God, if I led you to saying like heavy metal saved your life, they're never going to believe you. But all right. So your classic Inspire stuff or more of that white noise crap?
Classic Inspire stuff.
Okay, what'd you get?
24.
Would you like to use a force point?
I would like to use a force point.
I know you used one, but it's like
yeah.
kind of leaked the DC has gone for. It's like 25.
27. Force point of 3. So.
Inspire with the force point. Lean into, because you know what, poser? You might go through changes. You might be ready to reveal your name. You might be ready to do a lot of things to change for Dina. But there is no reason to give up your appreciation and love for good music.
Absolutely. And metal is the best of both. It has emotion, but it also has the technicality and the logic. That's why I love tech death metal, man. It's freaking great.
You exit the cave. You swim back out.
Yep.
Okay. 3 swim checks. Be awesome if you drowned. Oh no, new character. And he drowns in victory. What?
Honestly, what a fitting in though. 15.
Oh, barely. Okay. Because of course down here is the hardest, right?
Yeah. 21.
Much better.
And 17.
Yeah, okay. And again, before your eyes can ever reach the surface, there's that massive cone head like a shark fin piercing the surface of the water, right? Okay.
It's just poser.
Now, there's bounty hunters and bad guys and going on up here. So what do you do?
So the cone head comes up kind of like a periscope until the eyes reach the water. Just
okay.
Does it look? Oh, I guess perception check. See if it looks clear.
Okay.
Ooh, 24.
Nice. Oh, you think you're good? You pull yourself out of the water, and using a small bush like right in your line of sight, just standing behind it, is not a person. It's that freaking robo dog.
Just crap.
Standing there. Anyway, as you pull yourself out, its laser eyes scan you, as if it's identifying you.
Yeah.
And then its eyes go green. And it walks over sort of bouncily, happily, shaking its head. It turns around, and on the back of the dog, a compartment opens. And it lowers its back legs, and out slides a Syrian lightsaber crystal. It turns around and scans the crystal. It's almost like a real dog was sniffing it. And it looks at you, and it looks at the crystal, and waits.
Well, this was unexpected.
Considering who the dog belongs to.
Very much so, yes. But I'll reach down and gingerly take it.
Okay.
Thank you.
The moment you lay hands on this crystal, right? The dog projects a little blue hologram message of the master. So, you figured it out, did ya? Well, couple of confessions to make, I guess. One, yes, Slate is working with me. Any Padawan or Jedi comes looking for a crystal, they must pass a trial. By now you must understand the terrible power that could be unleashed for one side or the other. No Jedi, good or dark, should have that kind of power. I have made it my life's ambition to somehow find a way to these crystals without a sacrifice such as that. But in the meantime, it seems you did learn something, eh? About yourself, about the wall. So, for all your trouble, and from what Slate tells me that the hell that you've been through before you found me, I think it's fitting that you can have my crystal. Who knows? Perhaps it'll inspire me to get the other one a little faster, eh? But before you claim it as your own, promise me this. Come back here. Look for me. If I am gone, or if you can resist the cave again, you feel it has been breached, then I suggest you seek out a Jedi Sentinel. Either train with them, or tell them what you have learned, because only a Sentinel will have the power to stand against someone with those crystals in hand. And I will see you next time. Congratulations, Aiden. You got yourself a Jedi crystal. Any levels, yes.
Woo!
So, what'd you think?
Loved it.
Yeah, okay.
So good.
Couple loose ideas. Try to lean on your love of music, using your music against you, and a bunch of stuff I made up.
Loved it. Oh, it was great. And even talking about the Sentinel stuff at the end, which is actually leaning into too.
Well, there's two little guys. They have a podcast that I've become very fond of. I don't know if you've heard of Steve and Sam and the Dark Tides podcast, but they reminded me of something that I'd heard before when I started playing. Everything, and I mean everything, the players come across should be another plot hook. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.